As we stand at the threshold of a new year, we do not enter casually. We do not cross into 2026 unaware, unguarded, or unprepared. We step forward with intention, with faith, and with spiritual understanding. Today, we mark the entrance of 2026, not with fear, not with anxiety, but with divine covering. There are seasons that require more than planning. There are moments that demand more than optimism. This is one of those moments. A new year is not just a change of dates, it is a shift of spiritual terrain. What lies ahead may be unseen, but it is not ungoverned. And so we do not rely on chance, we rely on covering. The blood represents protection, mercy, and authority. It speaks when words fail. It stands when strength runs out. It covers what human effort cannot secure. As we mark the entrance of this year, we declare that what crosses with us will be aligned with purpose, and what threatens us will not pass through. We do not enter 2026 carrying fear from the past year. We do not drag disappointment, regret, or defeat across this threshold. What belongs to yesterday stays behind. What enters with us is faith, clarity, and divine order. There are things that try to follow us, cycles of struggle, patterns of delay, repeated battles, but they will not cross this line. Some doors close not because we failed, but because we are protected. Some paths end not because of loss, but because of redirection. As we mark this entrance, we acknowledge that not everything is allowed to continue. This is not superstition, it is spiritual awareness. It is understanding that life is not only physical, it is deeply spiritual. And when we acknowledge the spiritual dimension, we position ourselves wisely. The blood marks distinction. It separates what belongs from what does not. It draws a line between what is permitted and what is restrained. As we move forward, we declare that confusion will not dominate, chaos will not rule, and destruction will not define this year. We enter with discernment. Not every opportunity is an assignment. Not every voice deserves attention. Not every door is meant to open. Wisdom will guide decisions. Peace will govern reactions. Purpose will direct movement. The coming year does not need to be perfect to be powerful. It does not need to be easy to be meaningful. It needs to be covered. Covered decisions lead to aligned outcomes. Covered steps lead to protected journeys. We do not know everything that 2026 holds, but we know what holds us, and that knowledge changes how we walk forward. It replaces anxiety with confidence. It replaces hesitation with faith. It replaces fear with assurance. As we cross into this new season, we acknowledge that protection does not remove responsibility. We still walk wisely. We still choose carefully. We still act intentionally, but we do so with the assurance that we are not walking alone. The marking of this entrance is also a declaration of trust. Trust that provision will meet need. Trust that strength will appear when required. Trust that guidance will come when decisions are unclear. This year will not be defined by survival alone. It will be shaped by growth, alignment, and purpose. Not because there will be no challenges, but because challenges will not have authority over us. We step into 2026 with reverence, not recklessness, with faith, not fear, with awareness, not assumption. We mark this entrance knowing that what is covered is not easily consumed. And as we move forward, we do so with confidence, not in ourselves alone, but in the divine protection that goes before us, stands beside us, and follows behind us. This is how we enter, covered, aligned, aware, ready. The idea of marking the entrance is deeply spiritual because every transition carries uncertainty. When one season ends and another begins, there is always a doorway, visible or invisible, that must be crossed. Standing at that threshold can stir fear, anticipation, and questions about what lies ahead. Marking the entrance with the blood is a declaration that this crossing is not taken lightly or casually. It is an intentional act of faith that acknowledges vulnerability and invites divine covering. The blood represents protection, not because of human effort, but because of divine provision. It speaks of a covering that cannot be produced by strength, strategy, or preparation alone. Life is filled with unseen battles, and new seasons often bring challenges that cannot be predicted. By marking the entrance, the heart declares trust in a power greater than circumstances. It says that whatever waits on the other side will be faced under divine authority, not human fear. Protection is not merely about safety from harm. It is about preservation of purpose. Many people enter new seasons only to lose their direction, peace, or identity along the way. The blood marks ownership and belonging. It declares that what enters the new season belongs to God and will not be easily stolen, diverted, or destroyed. This act sets spiritual boundaries, signaling that certain things are not permitted to cross over. There is also an element of remembrance in marking the entrance. It recalls past faithfulness and previous deliverance. It reminds the heart that survival was not accidental. Looking back reveals moments where danger was near, but unseen protection intervened. The marking is not superstition. It is gratitude expressed through faith. It acknowledges that the same power that sustained before will sustain again. Fear often intensifies at the beginning of something new. The unknown magnifies insecurity. Marking the entrance confronts fear directly, not by denying it, but by surrendering it. It shifts focus from potential threats to divine presence. Fear loses its authority when trust is declared. The entrance becomes less about what could go wrong and more about who is in control. The blood also symbolizes sacrifice and seriousness. Entering a new year or season requires letting go of old patterns, habits, and compromises. Protection is not separated from obedience. Marking the entrance is a commitment to walk differently, to honor the covenant being acknowledged. It is an agreement that the next season will not be approached casually or carelessly. This act also establishes peace. When the heart knows it is covered, anxiety diminishes. Peace does not mean absence of challenges. It means confidence in the midst of them. Marking the entrance is an inward declaration that chaos does not rule this season. Peace stands guard at the door, refusing to allow panic or despair to dominate. Protection through the blood also involves alignment. It aligns intentions with purpose. Many enter new seasons with ambition but without direction. Alignment ensures that progress does not come at the cost of integrity. The marking reminds the heart that success without covering is fragile. True advancement is sustained when it is aligned with divine order. The entrance represents beginnings, and beginnings carry power. How something starts often determines how it unfolds. Marking the beginning establishes a foundation. It declares that the season is not built on chance but on faith. Foundations matter because storms test what is unseen before they affect what is visible. A marked entrance strengthens what follows. There is also a communal aspect to protection. Marking the entrance is not only personal, it extends to households, relationships, and responsibilities connected to the individual. It is a prayer that what passes through that doorway, decisions, opportunities, interactions, will be filtered through divine wisdom rather than impulse or pressure. Protection does not remove responsibility, but it empowers it. Knowing one is covered encourages courage rather than recklessness. It allows movement forward without paralysis. The entrance becomes a place of confidence instead of hesitation. Ultimately, marking the entrance with the blood is a declaration of trust. It says that the future is not entered alone. It acknowledges that strength comes from dependence, not independence. The doorway becomes sacred, not because of ritual, but because of faith. It is a moment where the heart pauses, honors God, and steps forward with assurance that whatever lies ahead is faced under divine covering and protection.